Welcome to the Full Moon Film Buff, episode 142. We're going to talk about the Lunar pack from 2004. I rented this from Scarecrow Video, but I think you can get it now on Amazon Prime as well. I had not seen this before. As always, we start with the prominent crew and cast. You can find links to a more complete credit list in the show notes. The film was written and directed by Jason LaCorey, with effects makeup done by Katie Kausman. Jason LaCorey is an independent filmmaker based in Florida who specializes in low-budget and genre filmmaking. I could find almost nothing about him, but I did love two of his film titles, Lumber vs. Jack and Jack vs. Lantern. This film is Katie Kausman's only credit. The cast includes Debbie Rochon as Mistress Misty, the hostess. In The Dark Rose, the 700-Year Itch, we have Melissa Morse as Rose Lunar and Colleen Cavanaugh as the vampire. In Sheep's Clothing, we have Jason LaCorey as P.I. Jim Stewart, Channel Bagwell as Gina Arucci, Brewer Welch as Minister Harrison, and Kevin White as Bobby Arucci. In Crying Wolf, we have Kevin White as Billy and the Sheriff, Jonathan Shane Farrell as Billy Joe, Annie Malinsky as Tracy, and Juliette Reeves London as Jessie, uncredited. We first discussed Debbie Rochon when we reviewed Rage of the Werewolf from 1999. Melissa Morse, Colleen Cavanaugh, Channel Bagwell, and Annie Malinsky each did 3 pictures in the early 2000s. Kevin White only has 7 credits. Jonathan Shane Farrell only has 2 acting credits. Brewer Welch took an unusual path to acting. He started as a Marine in 1969. After leaving active duty, he began a career in healthcare administration and joined the Air Force Reserve. He formed his own medical billing service. He became disillusioned and sought a distraction from his frustrations. At the age of 52, he took an acting class and immediately knew he had found something for which he had a real passion. He had a roughly 2-decade-long acting career following that. Juliette Reeves London began performing with her family circus act at a very early age. She's carved out a niche as a low-budget horror film scream queen. She has had smaller roles in bigger motion pictures like Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter in 2012 and TV series like Treem in 2010. As far as recommendations go, don't bother hunting this one down. The 3 stories each have a glimmer of a good idea in them, and the second one in particular had a pretty intriguing metaphor with lycanthropy and infidelity serving as parallel reasons for keeping secrets, but they aren't fantastic, and the filmmaking or effects aren't great either. All in all, I think you can give this one a pass. This does appear to be the first of a direct-to-DVD anthology series directed by Jason LaCorey, each focusing on a different classic horror movie monster, which I did appreciate. I know I said I wasn't going to cover anthology films as a general rule, but this one is 100% werewolf. Plus, this isn't the first anthology we've actually covered. That would be Dead Time Stories. The funniest part for me is the irreverent credit text. That was easily the best part and worth sticking around for. So let's cover the synopsis of these. Mistress Misty greets us in front of a pretty cheap green screen. She quickly introduces the first short, Dark Rose, 700-Year Itch. 700 years ago, a blonde woman wearing a modern black leather jacket hunts a vampire in an electrical substation. Rose Lenore turns into a werewolf, and the she-wolf and the vampire fight with all the grace of cheap wrestling moves. Horrifically bad sound effects. The werewolf wins and eats the vampire's heart. Roll credits. Back to Mistress Misty. She shows us her vampire baby with Count Someone. She introduces the next short, Sheep's Clothing. A working-class man, Jim Stewart, prepares for work. He's packing heat. Turns out he's a PI tracking a rich dame. Her husband suspects that she's cheating on him. She's not. Instead, she's hiding the fact that she's a werewolf. Her husband confronts her and shoots the minister who was trying to cure her. She kills her husband, and then Jim shoots her. Roll credits. Back to Mistress Misty. She shows us her aquatic baby with a creature from the lagoon. She introduces the next short, Crying Wolf. Billy Joe's girlfriend, Tracy, nags him to grow up and get a real job. She's got one lined up for him as a wildlife park ranger. He walks off in a huff. A werewolf attacks Tracy while he's gone. Billy Joe rushes back, but he's too late. She's dead. The werewolf attacks him too, leaving him alive but injured. A month later, Billy Joe confronts the sheriff, asking why they haven't found Tracy's killer yet. The sheriff thinks Billy Joe did it, since he had no wounds on him once the paramedics arrived. That night, Billy Joe pisses on the sheriff's cabin, so he gets cuffed. When the full moon rises, it is revealed that not only is Billy Joe a werewolf, but the sheriff is the original werewolf. Billy Joe busts free, and they fight. The park ranger shows up, shoots the sheriff, and offers werewolf Billy Joe a job hunting poachers and cleaning up roadkill. Roll credits. Back to Mistress Misty. She feeds her daughter with the Wolfman, a live rat. The end for real this time. Across the 3 shorts, the werewolf transformations and makeup designs vary significantly. The first 2 shorts use simple jump cuts between human and werewolf appearances, which I strongly prefer to the 3rd short's cheap CGI morphing. The first look is minimalist but effective, featuring facial hair with no noticeable modifications, turning the hands into claws. The hair placement is subtle but convincing. The second short opts for a traditional prosthetic head replacement, though the dark cinematography makes detailed evaluation challenging. The third short goes furthest, with more extensive makeup covering the werewolf's heads, hands, and chests. However, the transformations look rudimentary, more rubber masks than organic metamorphoses. Despite these limitations, the filmmakers did remarkably well, considering their constrained budget, delivering far more compelling effects than the green screen work in the Hostess segments or the monster babies. Those were bad. Bad. Werewolf lore specifics are notably sparse in short films, a limitation stemming from their inherently compressed storytelling format. With minimal runtime to spare, these narratives often rely on audiences' pre-existing familiarity with werewolf mythology. They breeze through foundational elements, lycanthropy spreading through a survivor's traumatic attack, and transformations rigidly anchored to the full moon's cyclical power. Interestingly, one canonical detail overlooked in these shorts is the legendary vulnerability to silver. Despite the trope's roots in cinematic werewolf folklore, none of these short films make even a passing reference to silver bullets or the metal's mystical potency against werewolves. So, if you like lycanthropes, like, share, and subscribe. Contribute your thoughts, not additional observations in the comments below. Let me know what I missed or what you noticed. Next, I plan on discussing Cursed from 2005. Keep your eye on the moon, a silver bullet in the chamber, and we'll see you back next episode.